Now to that tense standoff over Ukraine after Russia swiftly moved into Crimea, the U.S. and Europe imposing sanctions. Then the war of words between President Obama and President Putin. Well, this weekend, word of an unexpected conversation, Putin reaching out to President Obama. And tonight, Secretary of State John Kerry rushing to Paris to meet with his Russian counterpart. Why the sudden shift? ABC's chief foreign correspondent Terry Moran reporting in from Paris tonight. Terry.
Good evening, David. These are high-stakes talks here in Paris, a hastily arranged U.S.-Russia meeting, all triggered by a surprise phone call from Vladimir Putin to President Obama on Friday as diplomacy races to keep up with the crisis. That was fast. In Crimea late last night, all the clocks were moved 2 hours forward to be on Moscow time, just days after Russia took control of the region from Ukraine. And there's this. Russian tanks and troops, up to 50,000, the U.S. says, now poised on Ukraine's border, a very real threat to invade the rest of the country. Tonight in Paris, it was a perfunctory handshake between Secretary of State Kerry and the Russian foreign minister. And afterwards,
both of us recognized the importance of finding a diplomatic solution and of simultaneously meeting the needs of the Ukrainian people, and that we agreed on tonight.
The big question now, what does Putin want? On This Week, the Russian ambassador in Washington refused to absolutely rule out another military move, under close questioning from George Stephanopoulos.
Can you state unequivocally that Russian troops will not push into eastern Ukraine?
Well, we have said so many times that we have no intent, no interest in crossing the border.
But does that mean you won't do it?
Well, we are not planning to.
So for all the diplomacy here in Paris, the risk of a wider war is still very real. Talks will continue. But so far, there is nothing that President Obama has tried that has stopped Vladimir Putin in Ukraine or even slowed him down.